Welcome, folks. Welcome back to Widescreen. I'm Tony,
I'm Bill.
and we have a good show for you today. A bit more than I thought I could chew, but first, we'd like to make an announcement. We're not going to say who yet until it's all finalized. We have a sponsor. Cue applause.
Yeah.
We have a sponsor, but we need to do some things to finalize it. But we officially are going to be coming sometime this summer, late July, early August. We are going to be a sponsored show, and to do that, we are going to branch out and put our show on iTunes, of course, and other podcast-friendly sites. Midsummer, we'll have our website up, and everything that we promised you will finally be happening. We promised you we shortened the show. We did that. We shortened the damn show, folks. Calm down. But because we have a sponsor and we would like more, hint, hint to whoever's listening, we are going to, we're going to do that. Our podcast is going to be out there in the world, and so be ready. Be ready for big changes this summer. Big.
Excellent.
2016, the year of widescreen, Redux. So there you go. So that's our announcement, and we will keep you posted on that. But first, today we're going to talk about actors who act, or not act, actors who act.
Actors who act.
It's a very deep and serious subject. We're going to talk about actors who branched off into directing.
Which is everyone.
But what I'd rather do is direct. But first, a little caveat here. That's not a caveat. Caveat's at the end. Am I right? Yeah. Anyway, who cares? But first, we're not going to talk about people such as Orson Welles, John Cassavetes, Rob Reiner, Penny Marshall, who used to be married, by the way, Ron Howard, or Clint Eastwood. Why are we not going to talk about these people? Well, number one, Orson Welles only acted to get the funding, which was hard enough for him for his films. John Cassavetes, the same thing. Clint Eastwood, Ron Howard, Rob Reiner, and Penny Marshall have just become directors. And Ron Howard did it a long time ago. You can argue Clint Eastwood, because he was in 80% of the movies that he directed. But it's two reasons there. Number one, he's more of a director than an actor. Number two, Clint Eastwood will get his own show soon. He needs it. I want it. Hopefully you want it, Bill. The people, hopefully they want it. We'll have an Eastwood show someday. When we branch out, maybe we'll break the ice with Eastwood. I don't know. But so that's why we're not going to, don't post on your comments that you always post for our shows.
Yeah, all the billions of them.
Don't say, hey, how could you leave out Ron Howard? Well, I just told you why, so argument done.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I think with actors directing, a lot of people, oh, there they go, directing again. And for some of them, a lot of actors are singing and have their own bands, and everybody's like, oh, look at them trying to... Just because an actor is an actor doesn't mean they can't do other things. And for some actors, they maybe, as they do movie after movie, damn, I'd really like to get behind that camera, you know? And on the music thing, some actors were playing music before they started acting. So, and I think that's what we're going to discuss today, the varying degrees of success or failure with actors directing. There's a lot of them.
Yes, there are.
We won't hit them all, but let's get started. And again, please, remember why we're not talking about the list of people I already mentioned. So don't hate us on that. If I can start very quickly with a one-off.
Okay.
One of the greatest actors ever, Charles Laughton, who still has done the greatest Hunchback of Notre Dame. Wonderful, if you haven't seen that. In 1955, he directed one of my all-time favorite films, The Night of the Hunter, with Mitchum, and it's a. You've seen it? You've seen it? You haven't seen it? Holy shit! This show is over. It's a classic film. It's brilliantly. The shock. It was made in 1955. Mitchum is a preacher, or he's not a preacher, sorry, he's a prisoner. And Peter Graves is actually his cellmate who tells him of some buried loot and his family's house. And so when Mitchum gets out, he disguises himself as a preacher and goes to the... And I'm sure you've heard he's got the love and hate tattooed on his...
Yes.
And it's a brilliant film. It's terrifying. Mitchum's terrifying. But the shot compositions for 1955 are ridiculous. Lawton should have done 1,000 movies. It is just one of the probably 25 best directed films ever made. I mean, it's in my top 100, but it's probably one of my top 25 best directed films. His vision for that small story is amazing. And the art direction is, bar none, some of the best ever put to film. And it made a tiny profit and was kind of forgotten. They thought it was a cheap thriller. Lillian Gish is in it. The children. But no, I think it's a masterpiece, and it's the only one he did. And he never did another one. Never tried to do another one, and he was just like, look at that. I'm out. Drops the mic, and he's gone. Yeah.
Didn't like the process? I don't know.
I don't know why.
Producers pissed him off.
But it's a brilliant film. So, yeah, that is a smashing degree of success for an actor directing. And probably one of my top 3 favorite actors who directed a movie. Yeah, would you like to...
Well, I have basically a whole list of lots of different actors who kind of started directing.
Boy, so do I.
I guess, I'll throw out, I guess, one of my favorite ones. He's got some winners and some losers there. Kevin Costner as a director.
Costner?
Yeah.
What the hell has he done? Besides one of my favorite movies ever made, yeah. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, let me just scratch him off my list here. Oh, Con, yeah.
But, Dance with the Wolves.
Yeah.
I actually probably one of the only ones that like.
Don't say it.
What?
The Postman?
The Postman.
Oh!
Yeah.
That's a bad... All of a sudden
I like his epics. I like his...
It's epic. They all ride at each other and then do absolutely nothing.
I enjoyed it.
They stop and talk.
I enjoyed it.
No, Dances with the Wolves, we don't need to spend any time on that. Everybody knows its merits. I think it's brilliant. You like it, right? It's my wife's second favorite movie after Amadeus. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I guess you can call it a Western. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
It's in the West.
Yeah, right, yeah. There's Indians.
A
lot of them, too. The Postman, I'm not a fan of. I don't hate it. Like everybody, worst of the year, one of the big bombs of all time. It's not that bad. It's just a little silly.
Yeah, well, it's definitely silly.
I want to be a postman, yeah!
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay, can we make him something else besides a postman?
Well,
to give America hope again, he starts delivering mail. Holy shit!
It's called the Postman, so they kind of.
Well, I know. We'll call it something else. Yeah. Can he be, the ice cream man? Something. The end when that kid holds up the letter and he's writing it. Oh Jesus! I can't say that without choking. But it's not the piece of shit that everybody says. And it's funny. I just queued it up. It's playing in 2 weeks on one of the HD channels. I said, you know what? I haven't seen it since it came out. I'm gonna watch it again. But I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I think it's, especially nowadays, it's easy to hate on Kevin Costner, and everybody goes Postman, Waterworld, and Waterworld I love. He didn't direct it, but I love Waterworld. That's another show, but but it's easy to hate on Costner now. He's kind of got an ego, and so what? And he's an easygoing dude. He seems very likable.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's done a good job.
Yeah, and then his other movie he directed, which proves that he should do nothing but westerns. Open Range, one of the best westerns of recent memory. It's not a 4-star movie. I give it 3.5, but as far as modern westerns go, since that came out, that's probably the best one. You've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Duvall is fantastic. Great shootout at the end. Yeah, that's a great movie. He's a great director. I really think he is. And he's a fine actor, but he's a better director.
I think he's a better director.
Yeah. And and that's it. 3. Come on, Kevin. You're not getting any younger. Let's give us some more.
See what else you can do.
I'll give you another actor that directs.
Yeah.
Sean Penn.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah. I was waiting for him
actor.
to come up.
Yeah. I didn't want to start too big, even though Charles Lawton's pretty big.
Yeah.
No, Sean Penn, he's directed 4 movies, 5 now, and his new one got booed at cons.
Oh.
So, but you know what? So did Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm just saying. No, there's bad press about his new movie. I can't think of the name of it, but the press is not good. 1991, he did The Indian Runner, which for me holds. The soundtrack's right behind you there, Bill. I was listening to it the other day. Holds Viggo Mortensen's finest performance as an actor. He's amazing. It's based on a Bruce Springsteen song, Highway Patrolman, about 2 brothers. David Morse is a cop. Mortensen's the bad brother, you know. And it's just so good. It's so good. It's Penn grew up on the movies of Hal Ashby in the 70s, and and it has it looks like it was filmed circa 71. Patricia Arquette's in it, this weird pixie-ish. Dennis Hopper has a cameo, Benicio del Toro when he was like 19, It's a damn good movie. It's powerful. Charles Bronson plays the father and has 3 scenes, and he gives an Oscar-worthy performance. He'll break your heart. He's wonderful. Charles Bronson, by the way. No, it's a wonderful film. I love it.
Wish fought.
Everybody. And then he stands up and starts shooting. Everybody should see The Indian Runner, and they should also see Penn did The Crossing Guard in '95. Not a perfect movie. I think it falls apart in the last half. But have you seen it? Jack Nicholson, Crossing Guard. Nicholson and Angelica Houston's daughter was killed by a drunk driver, David Morse again, and he's getting out of prison. Nicholson's planning on killing him. He's been waiting. And it's a beautiful film. We follow David Morse once he gets out of prison, hooks up with Robin Wright, Penn at the time, and Nicholson and Houston are divorced, and he's in this fucked up life. And it falls apart in the end, but it's beautiful and holds. There's a couple of moments where it holds the best stuff that Nicholson's ever done on film, and I'm going to say that again coming up. And then he did in 2001 The Pledge, where Penn directed that. Jack Nicholson makes the promise to find the killer of this little girl to this family, and it sends him on this descent into madness. And it really does, and he just goes insane, goes mad. But it's, again, very 70s feel. Penn has a knack as a director, probably because of his skills as an actor, to get these little moments that mean so much. Mickey Rourke has one scene in The Pledge. Nicholson goes to interview him, and he's a janitor, and he's just sitting in a chair smoking, and his daughter was a victim of this killer, whoever it may be, and the scene is like maybe 5 minutes, and Mickey Rourke has this little monologue, Oscar worthy. It's a brilliant scene. Benicio del Toro is this mentally handicapped Indian that they falsely bring in. Brilliant stuff. Penn just has that knack, I think, just for everything so natural. Nothing feels forced, or except the last half of the Crossing Guard. Nothing feels forced or over the top or hammy. And then in 2007, people finally went to see one of his movies. All those movies, straight to video. Into the Wild, which actually got Oscar nominated, and it's a great film as well. And again, I'm not being biased, because I love Penn, but you like that too, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
great score by Eddie Vedder.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie, just a brilliant movie. And to this day, the only time I've ever liked Emile Hirsch. All of a sudden, he's doing all this shit. I can't stand him. But no, I think Penn's an interesting director. I'm really interested to see his new one, because it's getting such bad press. But I think he takes his time. His movies are very, very patient, and you have to be patient with them. And he makes movies about real people, like Nicholson. In both of those movies, Crossing Guard and The Pledge, there's no Nicholsonisms, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's just his character. It's wonderful. Anyways, Penn is one of my favorite actor directors.
Very cool.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, I guess we had a point of reflection, folks.
Yeah, reflect.
Yeah. You want me to do another?
Sure.
Tim Robbins.
Oh, love Tim Robbins.
Love Tim Robbins in many ways. I was sad to hear that. I don't care about celebrity gossip, but I was sad to hear that they broke up.
Oh yeah, they were like a couple for a while.
Since '88, Bull Durham.
It was like the go-to when you were thinking, does
successful.
Does relationships work in Hollywood? And say, oh, look at Tim Robbins and Serena.
Now we just have to look back at.
And they never were married. They had like what, 3-4 kids.
Yeah.
And were never married.
Mm-hmm. Now we just have to look back at Woodward and Newman. Like they're the old standby now. Like, they made it. He died, but they made it.
Right.
It's still weird, by the way, to think that Paul Newman's dead.
Yeah.
Still. I'm like, really? Wait, he's dead. Yeah, it's
I walk through grocery stores and see Newman's Own everywhere. And
I know.
Kind of like, oh, that's right. He's no longer
damn, he's gone. Never thought I'd live in a time when Newman's gone. But anyway, in '92, Tim Robbins directed Bob Roberts. Have you ever seen that? Mm-hmm. Scarily prophetic film. '92 he directed this. And he basically predicted the Bush-Cheney presidency.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's predicting where we are now in our political climate. It was amazing that he predicted that. And it's also a very funny little fall documentary. I like it. And in 1995...
Reiner-ish.
What's that?
Very Rob
Yeah,
Reiner-ish.
very Spinal Tapish. In 1995, he did my favorite movie of '95. And to that time, maybe still, my favorite Sean Penn performance and Susan Sarandon performance, who won an Oscar for it, Dead Man Walking.
Right.
Again, we don't need to tout that. Everybody knows Dead Man Walking. You a fan of that film?
Oh, yeah, it was good too.
And the best thing about that movie for me, as political of a guy as Tim Robbins is, watch that movie, you still don't know what side he's on.
Right.
Is he pro death penalty or is he anti? You don't know. He's just giving you a case there. It's a beautiful movie. I'm not sure I've ever... I cried very hard in that film when I saw it the first time. When Penn was saying his final words there.
Right.
That's a hard scene. And then he stays on him as he dies. Yeah, it's a beautiful moment. And in that moment, I'm against the death penalty. I can tell you that right now. But no, he wears his politics on his sleeve, but doesn't hammer it home, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And he did, I think Dead Man Walking is a masterpiece.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah. And great Oscar-winning theme song from Bruce Springsteen. And then in '99, for some reason, he hasn't directed since then. The Cradle Will Rock.
Yeah, he's been doing TV and
little
things like that.
Have you ever seen The Cradle Will Rock? I like it. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's good. I think he bit off more than he could chew. There was a lot going on. For those of you who don't know, 1930s, Orson Welles, John Houseman, and their ilk are trying to put on a political play. 30s, right? Yeah, 30s. I think. 30s, yeah.
Yeah, 30s.
Has to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's very good. There's a huge cast. Bill Murray plays a weird ventriloquist. And it works. I give it 3 stars, It goes on a little long and there's too much going on and he doesn't have the handle on it like, say, someone like Paul Thomas Anderson or Robert Altman would have on this 1,000 characters, can make it flow. But it's a good film. I own it. It's a good movie. But no, Tim Robbins, come back. Go back behind the camera, man.
Yeah, really.
I want to see you do something. Or maybe he's like silently blacklisted in Hollywood.
I don't know why he would be blacklisted.
Because he's such a political...
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. Everybody's political in Hollywood.
Yeah. I got some biggies, but I don't want to talk about them yet.
Why not?
Well, they're big. We're not going to get to everyone, by the way.
No.
I have a 5-page list, folks. This is retarded. I'm not even going to talk about Sidney Poitier.
Okay.
He did some movies. They all sucked. They all suck. He did 9 movies. They all suck.
Yeah.
And moving on. I'll do a few one-offs. One's a 2-off, but just real quick. A modern, bringing in for the kids. Keanu Reeves decided to direct, and I couldn't wait when I saw the preview. I'm like, hell yeah! Man of Tai Chi. His homage to the great kung fu flicks. It sucked.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Did you see it? Yeah. It's boring.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's dull. It's not filmed with any flair. And the room that they fight in is this off green, bland. There's no, it was just a dead film.
Yeah, it was not.
He doesn't know how to direct a movie, at least an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt coming up in Snowden from Oliver Stone. I can't wait.
I didn't mind Don John that bad.
I liked it. No, I thought it was a good film. I wouldn't own it, but that could be his best performance. He's really good, and he proves how serious porn addiction is. It's about a guy addicted to porn, and he proves it in that movie because he has Scarlett Johansson in the next room wanting to fuck him, and he says he has work to do on the computer. Go to sleep, and he would rather whack off to porn.
Yeah.
Porn addiction needs to be stopped because that, let me tell you,
that is just sad.
If it's that strong, holy shit. Yeah, that's bad. But no, Don John was okay. Nobody saw it, but it was all right. And I'm glad you did, by the way.
I didn't mind it.
Zach Braff, who I fucking hate.
Yeah, but
Garden State is a little mini indie masterpiece. I love every moment of that. I own it. I love it. I have the soundtrack. No, Garden State, he showed this, it was a very natural, just flow. The whole movie just flowed. It floated you along with it. I fell in love again with Natalie Portman in that movie.
Yeah.
Fell in love with her in Beautiful Girls, but me and Timothy Hutton decided she was too young. We can't do that. So then Garden State came a few years later, and all right, me and Zach Braff fell in love with her. No, and he's even good in it, and it's wonderfully written and directed, and he did both. I loved it. Then he did Wish I Was Here in 2015, his follow-up. It's a piece of shit. Sad attempt at recapturing the feel of Garden State. Now, you got to do something else, my friend. Did you see it?
I believe so.
He's got a kid and Kate Hudson, and they're walking around trying to do Garden Statey stuff, and it's almost the same plot, and he's trying to figure his life out, and Kate Hudson is this wacky, wild Natalie Portman from Garden State. In Garden State, he has issues with his father, Ian Holm. Here, it's Mandy Patinkin. Same thing. It sucked. The soundtrack wasn't even that good. Yeah. So anyway, now there's just a few one-offs for the modern take on it. And I think what we learned from people like Zach Braff and Keanu Reeves, not every actor needs to go behind the camera, no matter how much you want to. Yeah.
There's some out there that surprise me.
There's some. I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead.
Ben Affleck. He surprised me.
Oh, hell yeah. He's on here somewhere.
So.
Ben Affleck did 3 goddamn good movies.
Hell yeah.
And I still prefer his first one of all of them. Gone Baby Gone in 2007. One of the great crime thrillers of the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck was amazing. And the way Affleck captured, I mean, okay, he grew up there.
He's one probably didn't need it.
Yeah, right, yeah. The Afflecks grew up in Boston, so, match point there. But not that I've lived in it, but he seems to have perfectly captured, much like Eastwood did in Mystic River.
Yeah.
Just, it feels like it's Boston. There's no phoniness there. And then The Town a few years later, which everybody seems to like better than Gone Baby Gone. It's a good film, but I don't think it's as strong. Yeah. It's a bank robbery movie. And falls in love with a girl, the cop's after him. He's got the one, Jeremy Renner plays the psycho buddy. Yeah, we've been there. Right. I've seen Mean Streets. Yeah. But it's good. It's a good film. I own it. I like it. And Argo.
Yeah, Argo was
which is a great movie.
No, yeah, it was really, really good.
I don't think it deserved Best Picture, but that's just me.
Yeah. It was very good.
It's very, very good. Yeah. I liked Argo a lot. He's a damn good director.
But again, kind of surprising. You wouldn't look at him and think, yeah, put that guy behind the camera.
Yeah, because by the time he did his first one in 2007, I was done with Ben Affleck. Like, get this guy off my movie screen. I hate him. I'm tired of him. And lest we forget, he's a decent actor. But, yeah, he needs to...
Does the same stick the whole time.
Does, yeah. Except in Good Will Hunting, he's very good there. That was before he...
Yeah.
And Chasing Amy.
And
what's that?
And he had Matt Damon next to him.
Yeah, right. That helps. Poor Matt Damon.
Keeping him in line.
Matt Damon's a great actor. But he's slowly getting into that Denzel Washington, Nicolas Cage area. They're giving him guns and big paychecks, and he's...
Yeah, well.
He needs to do some more dramas. He's good at it. He's doing all these sci-fi movies, and which is fine. I'm sure it's fun as an actor.
The Martian was
The Martian,
kind of a sci-fi comedy.
Yeah.
Take him back to kind of his Good Will Hunting days a little bit.
I agree with that. My problem with Matt Damon in The Martian, when we're talking about Boston, so all of a sudden I'm from Boston again. Again? I don't know.
How do you like them apples?
Right. Applesauce, bitch. That's from Jay and Silent Bob. Good Will Hunting 2. What the hell was I talking about? Matt Damon in The Martian. My problem is he played it like Matt Damon.
Well,
Act. Don't be Matt Damon. That's
I don't know.
But he was very good, and I like The Martian a lot. Tad overrated. Sorry, Ridley. You're one of my favorite directors. Tad overrated.
It was fun.
But it's a damn good movie. I would own it.
It was fun, and I think he did a good job.
Oh, he did a great job.
And I'm excited about the next Bourne movie. So
I am too. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm ready. I like the last one with Jeremy Renner, the one that nobody liked.
They're supposed to actually make another one with him.
Were they together?
Well, they're supposed to do, I think, what I read is they're supposed to do one that's Matt Damon, which I think that's the one that's coming out. Then they're supposed to do another one with Jeremy Renner, right?
Yeah, Renner.
Mm-hmm. Another standalone with him, and then they're supposed to do one where they bring them together.
That would be cool. But let's watch out. I don't know. I guess we can have Bourne movies for decades because we have Bond movies, and I'm first in line. By the way, rest in peace, Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
He's not dead, but he's not going to be Bond anymore. I can't. And the three that are supposed to, I don't want any of them. None of them. I'm upset. Tom Hiddleston, too skinny.
I like Tom Hiddleston.
I love him. He's a great actor. Too skinny. Damian Lewis. I fucking hate Damian Lewis. The guy from Homeland, and he's on that new show Billions on Showtime. Redhead. He was in Band of Brothers. He's good.
Okay.
I can't stand him. He's a horrible actor, I think. Everybody loves him. Fuck him. And Idris Elba, who is an actor I respect and love, and we'll see anything if he's in it. We've had this conversation. It's not racist to say James Bond should not be an African American. It's in the book. The description in the book describes him as a blah.
Yeah. Well, they can change.
Here's what we do. No, we don't change.
We can change.
Hey, you want Idris Elba playing Indiana Jones?
How many?
Aha!
How many?
You want Idris Elba to play? Okay, let's cast Idris Elba in the third Star Wars as Luke Skywalker. Is that okay with you? No, it's not, and it's not racist to think that, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You get my point, though.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it.
If you're going to make James Bond an African-American, let's just make it an African-American spy movie that's not James Bond. He was written a certain way. I'm sorry. You can't, And everybody, well, it's a fictional character. You can change it. Yeah,
but stuff like, Shakespeare was written a certain way, and they keep...
And the dames keep playing...
They keep, riffing off of it. Why can't they riff off other things? I mean, the Fleming is not around anymore, so who's writing the stories?
You're right, yeah.
So they can do whatever the hell they want.
Kind of touche on
whoever owns it.
Yeah, kind of touche on that, yeah. Yeah, you're right. And anybody who knows me, please,
how do you feel about the rumor of Gillian Anderson making James Bond a woman?
I was going to get to that in a minute. No! Make her a female spy of another name in her own series, Bondian. Or make it an offshoot film. That's what everybody likes to do these days. Yeah. Just do an offshoot film. Oh, yes, I'm 0012. I used to work with James Bond. And then give her own series. Do that. Same with Idris Elba. I'm 0011. Do that. And leave James Bond as is. Yeah. Even though they keep changing how he is. But that's my theory. It's like it's my theory on remakes. You get all these great... I'll use the Psycho remake, which is the worst movie idea ever, and I've said that often. You get this great cast, Mortensen, Julianne Moore, William H. Macy, Robert Forster, all these great people in it, and you do that. Get these great people and put them in a different movie together. You know what I mean? It's the same theory.
Yeah.
Let Idris Elba play a British spy.
Well, I think it's the whole
not James Bond
thing.
The what?
They keep trying to reboot stuff. I mean,
they keep trying to reboot, and at the same time, we're too worried about political correctness. Maybe we need a black James Bond. No, but maybe we need a black super spy to have his own series of films, and a woman super spy to have her own series of films. But we don't need a black or a woman James Bond. It's controversial, I think, for me to say this, but again, I'm not coming from any place of hatred or racism or bigotry. I just think that's a valid. I think I have a valid point on that. I think I do.
I think it's a valid topic to discuss.
And I think we just found another show. And very quickly, one last thing on it here. The sad thing about it is, for me to get my way and have Idris Elba and or Gillian Anderson not be considered for the role, unfortunately, is because of racism, bigotry, and chauvinism in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
So, to get my way, I have to ride the coattails of the hatred.
But is that what it is, or is Hollywood itself, producers are trying to grasp on now to all this new, there's certain directors out there making a stand and doing, adding women to movies, making them powerful and such. But are producers thinking that's a new way to make money? So they're
it's true.
They're ruining that. It's like, well, people right now like having women in movies, so let's put a woman in James Bond.
Yeah.
Is it more along the lines not to make a statement about it, or is it more along the lines the producers trying to make money off the fact that people want that to change?
Yeah, that's true.
So.
And again, another last statement on it. If I don't know which novel it was, it's either Dr. No or From Russia with Love, where he gives the full description. And he's and by the way, he looks nothing like any of the guys who played him. Tall, he looks more like Mr. Bates. Is that his name from Downton Abbey?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The butler guy who married the. That's his name, right? Bates.
Bates.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Bates.
That's how he's described. Bates. That's how James Bond is. Okay, none of these guys look like him. But so that's my point. He didn't say he could have had a darkened skin tone. If he would have said, by the way, if he would have described him, or here's the thing, if he would have not described James Bond, I'm fine and completely behind Idris Elba being James Bond, because he's awesome. And he's suave, and he's good looking, and he's debonair, and yeah. But that's the reason I don't.
I think it's a topic, and it's worth a conversation.
I agree.
It's kind of heated.
Folks, real quick, James Bond show coming up, and we're not going to dissect the movies like we did. We're just going to talk about
it. But to bring it back to what our topic is.
What is our topic? I'm just kidding. Yes.
Speaking of the remake of Psycho, how about Jon Favreau?
How about him? Let me tell you about Jon Favreau. I love him. I love Favs. That's what Vince Vaughn calls him, Favs. His first one, Made, was kind of it's okay. It's a weak attempt to do swingers again, only as mobsters. I think Elf, his follow-up movie, is a Christmas classic, and it is now. But I thought it the night I saw it. I love that movie. Do you like that?
Oh yeah. I
love Elf. We watch it every year. I own it.
It's a very fun movie.
It's so fun.
I think one of Will Ferrell's.
Yeah,
better.
He's so funny in that movie. And James Caan is funny, but looks so uncomfortable at times. Like, wow, this is a goofy movie.
And that was when Peter Dinklage was just starting to kind of make a name for himself.
Yeah, that was a good scene too. Yeah. See, call me Elf, or call me Dwarf, or was he? No, Elf. No, I love Elf, and I'm glad it was a big hit. And I remember when it came out, I'm like, who did this? Jon Favreau? Oh, there's no fucks in it. There's no. Then he did Zathura. It is what it is. Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's Jumanji.
Yeah, it was.
Again.
Which they're remaking, but that's alright.
Kevin Hart, right?
Was it Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were talking like. I thought there was somebody else. I thought it was like Rock or something like that.
I don't know.
It was gonna be.
I
love Kevin Hart, but I don't.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't say what I was gonna say.
That was like the other Will Ferrell movie I liked.
Get Hard.
Get Hard.
It's a terrible movie, but
It's
they're funny.
It's a fun
I'd
movie.
like to start a personal petition to stop Kevin Hart from doing movies. Anyway, moving on.
He's fun. Come on.
Is he?
He's fun.
Or does he do the same thing?
Okay, we need to do a show about all the actors that act exactly the same in all their movies.
We have some good shows coming up, folks. And some debates, I feel. After Zathura, he cemented his love, my love for him, Favreau, with Iron Man.
Iron Man's. Yeah.
One of the best of the standalones. Until Captain America is my personal favorite standalone of the new Marvel.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it was Iron Man. And then he followed up with Iron Man 2, which for some reason nobody likes. Do you like it?
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was fine. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke's in it.
Mickey Rourke was pretty
I've got
good.
a Mickey Rourke bobblehead. Who can say that?
Yeah. I think Mickey Rourke was pretty
I thought
good.
he was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong
It
with
was
it.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
Maybe they
Get
didn't
rid of
need to do the
fucking
whole,
Terrence Howard.
The multiple Iron Men, because they tried that at the end of 2 too, didn't they? Before they did let's even add more in 3.
He showed 3. We'll talk about that one. Yeah. Then he lost me in 2011. Cowboys and Aliens was a big suck fest. James Bond and Han Solo / Indiana Jones in a western / sci-fi adventure. It is the most boring.
Yeah.
It is.
The concept didn't really do it for me.
The concept's silly, but
it's kind of like what?
Yeah.
That works as like a animated feature from like
DreamWorks. There you go, exactly.
That's not something that's live
Cowboys
action.
and Aliens, and it was a flop
because
everybody agreed it sucked. Yeah. And then one of the best films of 2014 and the best films of his career, Chef.
Oh,
a beautiful. We talked about that. A beautiful movie. A beautiful movie. That should be on one of our Lost Treasures shows.
Oh yeah.
Because it is such a good movie.
Yeah, I was very happy.
I mean, that's one of those ones. It's over, and it's like right at 2 hours. Like, why is it over?
And nobody talks about it. Nobody talked about it when it was out.
No,
it was one of those. We went to the theater and saw, at a independent theater, and went and saw it, and that was a great find. I felt the same way with Sideways when I left.
Me too. Yeah, it's that kind of movie. Exactly. It's a good comparison. Yeah, it's just and to a lesser extent, that's the way I felt about Garden State when I watched. Yeah, it's one of those movies that could go on and on and on. Yeah. No, I loved it. And then he did The Jungle Book, and it's great, and you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I want to wait for the big screen. So.
Fantastic. So, there you go. Yeah, Fabs, man. Fabs has it going on. They're talking about doing a Jungle Book 2 already. Please don't.
Already?
Leave it alone.
Again, Hollywood is starting to upset me.
They are, yeah.
Because it's just saying they want to throw out sequels like left and right, just to throw out. In the old days, you didn't get so many sequels. You got
unless you were the Thin Man series.
Yeah, unless you were, and now it's just like let's put a sequel for everything.
Yeah,
everything.
That's what we talked about in our last show. Thank you for all the comments, folks. And things don't deserve sequels. Certain films don't deserve them. Yeah.
Or they stand so well on their own. Why? Why? Yeah. The Jungle Book is the Jungle Book.
Exactly. There's
maybe Disney 30 years later made a cartoon Jungle Book 2 that also stunk, but the Jungle Book is the Jungle Book.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have Tom Sawyer Part 2.
The end. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah, the further adventures of. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do another Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer. What are you going to call their sidekick these days? You remember his name? Yeah. What are you going to call him?
Jim.
Just Charlie. Just Charlie. Thank you.
Just Jim.
Here's a quick example of an actor starting out promising, and he's continually, as a director, continually going down and down. For me.
Okay.
George Clooney. His first movie was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind in 2002. It's not perfect, but it's a damn entertaining movie about the weirdo Chuck Barris, Gong Show host. He was a supposed spy before that, assassin, whatever. Sam Rockwell was great, and it's a well-done movie. And then he did Good Night and Good Luck, which was a great film. You like that, right? About Murrow taking on McCarthy. And it's a great film. It's well done. it was nominated for a shitload of Oscars, and deservedly so. And then he did Leatherheads. Did you see that?
Leatherheads?
As 2008, his tip of the hat to the old Preston Sturges comedies of the 30s and 40s about football team. I think they're in the 20s. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible. There's a and Renee Zellweger's in it because I hate her.
You got a problem with Renee
Oh
Zellweger?
boy, we should have a show on her. Man, the fire I have. Fucking Oscar. She's terrible. Anyway, but we're not talking about her. There's a scene.
What's she win it for?
Fucking Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
No. Cold Mountain.
Cold Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on now, let's get this. Shut up. Anyway, Leatherheads. There's a scene at the end where they're playing a muddy football game, and there are two announcers, and one of them says, "Well, what does this game look like to you?" He's like, "Looks like a big muddy suck fest to me." And I'm like, "That's my review right there." Yeah.
Your review.
That's my review. And then he did in 2011 The Ides of March, a little political thriller with Gosling and Philip Seymour Hoffman. I remember liking it, but I couldn't tell you much about it. It's all right. Yeah. It's all right.
Well, and then, the next one I'll disagree with you because
you liked it a lot?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, okay. A lot of critics did too. Yeah. No, it was good. 3 stars, I think, but it didn't stick with me.
Maybe because I'm a art teacher.
No, maybe.
That art history is very important to me.
No, wait. No, The Ides of March. I'm not there yet.
Oh. That's what I said. Movie. I said the next one.
Oh, the next one. I'm sorry.
I thought we were jumping up to the next one.
Well, we are now, yes. I stopped because I thought you were still talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Monuments Men.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I liked it.
I love art. I love World War II. I mean, for lack of a better word.
It was a great way to tie in art history with regular history.
Yep.
And I think that's what I really liked about it because, people talking about World War II and Anne Frank, and it's great to be able to kind of go in there and bring the art aspect into it. So
right,
and so I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was dull. It's not a bad movie. I just didn't. My thumb, 2.5 stars. That was kind of dull. There has some moments.
I like some moments.
Jumping massively to a different kind of actor, Tommy Lee Jones, one of my favorite actors. Won the Oscar for the wrong movie. But hey, who's counting?
Usually happens.
1995, his first film was The Good Old Boys.
Good Old Boys.
About a aging cowboy refusing to change as the modern world comes in the early 1900s. It's not a masterpiece. It's a good little movie. Sissy Spacek's in it. Matt Damon, before we know it. Then he did my favorite film of 2005, and my favorite film that he's directed. The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada, about a guy whose friend gets shot by a Border Patrol officer, and his Mexican friend gets shot by a Border Patrol officer, mistaking him for jumping the border, but he's not. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So Tommy Lee Jones is broke, so he wraps his friend up and carts his body, on horseback. But he goes and kidnaps Barry Pepper, plays the Border Patrol guy. Kidnaps him, makes him go with him. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. It's not a thriller. It's not an action film. It's a heavy drama. It's beautiful. Excellent. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I've seen really anything that he's directed.
You should see that. It's excellent. And then he directed the Cormac McCarthy, The Sunset Limited, with 2-person play with him and Sam Jackson. Great. It's a great McCarthy book. Great. It could be one of the best performances of either of those guys' career. And then in 2014, he did a Western, The Homesman. I own it. It's weird. It's a very strange movie. He and Hilary Swank have to take a wagon load of crazy women to a home across the prairie. He's an old grizzled guy to take them. But it's not. It's a Western, but it's not a Western. It's a weird, artsy, fartsy. I don't love it, but I like it a lot. I respect it more than I like it. But And he's going to remake John Wayne's classic, The Cowboys. Fine. I'm down with it. I'm against remakes, but we need westerns, and Tommy Lee Jones is the man to do it. I'm down with that. So yeah, I like him as a director. Real quick, Robert De Niro. Talking about starting out strong and going in the toilet. 1993 did A Bronx Tale, which is basically his little Scorsese movie.
Right.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Brought Palminteri to the Chaz Palminteri. And then in 2006, the only other movie he's directed, The Good Shepherd, about the beginning of the CIA. Massive cast. Matt Damon was the star. Angelina Jolie, Alec Baldwin, De Niro himself. Tons of people. Joe Pesci came out of retirement to do a scene. Piece of shit. I give it like 1 star.
Yeah,
It's
it was
awful.
Pretty slow.
Oh, God.
It was very slow.
Yeah, it's really bad. And it broke my heart because what a great subject. And then he blew it. He fucking blew it. Anyway. I was going to talk about Robert Redford, but for time's sake, again, he's become more of a director now than actor. And Danny DeVito, same thing.
Right.
He's more of a director. Warren Beatty, very quickly. I've always liked him as an actor. I think I posted something on Widescreen a little bit that it was his birthday. A lot of people don't give him credit enough for being a good actor, but he really is. But he's a fucking amazing director, I think. 1978, Heaven Can Wait. It was a huge hit, and not that it matters. Nominated for tons of Oscars. It might have won Best Screenplay. You want to do a remake, that's how you do it.
Right.
Do you like that film?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Charles Grodin. I mean, it's a laugh a minute almost.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. I love it. Very well done. And then in 1981, he deservedly won the Oscar for directing for Reds. My God, you seen that? What a massive! It's a fucking great movie. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but I think it teeters at the door. You know what I mean? It's like I'm coming in almost. It's a fantastic film. And yeah, he more than deserved the win there. 1990, Dick Tracy. I love that. It's not perfect, but who gives a shit?
Yeah,
I love it.
Another fun type movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's another. They got that. If you think about it, in terms of the look and everything, that could be the most successful comic book adaptation of all time. Because it looks like a comic. They didn't adjust the characters. There's color palettes. You know, and it's wonderful. And in Bulworth, one of my favorite political comedies. Yeah, we talked about that. He's a great director, and he's currently working on a film about Howard Hughes. A little late in the game there.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I'm down. It's Warren Beatty.
Definitely.
Yeah. You have anybody offhand you wanted to?
Just because I like to stir the pot a little bit.
The pot.
So, what do you think about Ben Stiller?
I don't. You are stirring the pot. I dislike or hate almost everything he's done.
What?
The one as a director. The one I like is the one everybody hates.
Which one's that?
The Cable Guy.
Really?
I think that's an underrated.
Reality Bites?
Oh
my God.
We need to do a show on Generation X comedies. Because my wife and I argue about this a lot. That speaks to our generation.
Are you considered Generation X?
Well, I just made it.
You just made it? Okay.
I consider myself. No, not really. Well, he's my age. He's a little older.
Yeah.
He's like 2 years older than me. So.
Yeah, but John
whatever.
Hughes did teenage
that's true,
80s movies.
Well, whatever. My point is, it still spoke to everybody who's been a youth. I think it is a ridiculous film. I hate it. I think he has no control over his characters and where he's going with it. And I think it's retarded. And I think only an idiot would have chosen Ethan Hawke over Ben Stiller. I think that's dumb. They make Ethan Hawke to be such a douche that why would you ever choose him? Ben Stiller made one mistake. He thought he did it for the right reason. He thought he was helping her. Sorry. He apologized. He tried to make it better. She fucked off. Whatever. I hated that movie. Anyway, does that tell you a little bit of something?
I guess so.
Yeah, I
don't know, I just find him kind of fun and goofy, and
I hated Tropic Thunder, and that's the one that everybody likes.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny, but I wouldn't go to the point where I'd be like, oh, that was a great. I'd go for Zoolander over that one.
I hate Zoolander. I refuse to ever see the second one.
It was fun. It was not good, but it was
fun. And we've argued about this before. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I don't care if Sean Penn's in it. It's one of the worst movies of the year.
I love it.
I did not like that.
I liked it.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, you're a big fan. So is Allison.
Mm-hmm.
My wife loved it too. No, I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's not like we don't have to call divorce lawyers over Ben Stiller. Yeah. If you would have said, no, fucking Warren Beatty, I'm like, hey.
I think he pulls out the you can definitely see his mom and dad and his way of his writing and his comedy.
Sure, yeah. So no, he's a funny guy. I like him. But just stop with the directing. I haven't liked it. And the one I like, everybody says fun.
I like the Cable Guy. Cable Guy was fun.
It was very funny. His little Midnight Express reference. Mm-hmm. Oh, Billy. Nobody got that because they're all fucking teenagers seeing it. Nobody saw Midnight Express.
My favorite scene will always be the medieval times scene, though.
That's the best line in the movie. Can I have a fork? There were no forks in medieval times. Ergo, there are no forks in medieval times.
But there was Pepsi.
Would you like Pepsi or Diet? Yeah, that was great. I love it. Very quickly here, a couple of one-offs by actors that people may not know made a movie. Andy Garcia did one of my favorite films of 2005 called The Lost City. And it was about his Cuban heritage. It was about a family coming up in Castro, Cuba. or Batista and then Castro. Wonderful, beautiful. Bill Murray again is in it. Al Pacino. Dustin Hoffman. It's a great film. Great film. It's beautiful. Have you seen it? You haven't seen it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Russell Crowe just did one. What? The Water Diviner. Very good film. It's based on a true story of a guy in Australia during the Boer War. He lost 3 of his sons. 2 died, and 1 is missing, feared dead, but he actually goes over there, searches for his son to find him. It's a very good movie. I give it 3.5 stars. And it came and went in this country anyway. Won a lot of awards in Australia. But I thought it was fantastic. Nicolas Cage did a movie in 2002 called Sunny. Did you ever see that?
I've
With
heard
James Franco?
Bad
That's
things.
one of the worst movies ever made about a hustler, a male hustler. Yeah. And it's right before Franco got annoying. And you're like, hey, I like that guy. He's pretty good. No, it is garbage. Yeah. Nick Cage does a cameo as some weird pimp. Awful. It's just a bad movie. Bill Murray, nobody knows. He co-directed Quick Change, which I think is his funniest film. And it's also a lost treasure because it was a big flop. The one where he dresses up as a clown, robs the... it's a wonderful film. I like it. But the studio was edging him out, and so they hired the writer to co-direct with him. But he's in the credits, directed by...
You just made me think of somebody with the clown reference, and it's totally off the wall, and it just popped in my head.
What's that?
I don't know if I should save it for the website or not. Bobcat Goldthwait.
I like Bobcat Goldthwait. He's on here. He's doing some interesting work. I haven't liked everything. You talking about as a director?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Shakes the Clown.
Was like his first, was it?
That's a good movie. But he did a great one with what's his name? Robin Williams. The World's Greatest Dad.
That was sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
That was
dark
sad.
and sad.
That was
I like that movie. But no, I thought he did a good job.
Especially how
Robin
Williams.
Yeah, that's sad. No, I like Bobcat Goldthwait as a director. He's funny. He just did a horror film too. Yeah. It's okay, but yeah. Very quickly, John Turturro, the great character. In 1992, he did a movie called Mac about 3 working class brothers in the 60s. It's a very good movie. Did Illuminata, which is not a very good movie, but it's got a great cast about a bunch of people putting on a play, Christopher Walken, so on and so on. He did Passione in 2010, a documentary about a certain kind of dance. I haven't seen it. And but in 2005, and I think I had this on a Lost Treasures, Romance and Cigarettes, musical, where they just lip sync. Christopher Walken, James Gandolfini, Kate Winslet, Susan Sarandon, and it's about working class people in New Jersey having relationships. And it's great, it's funny, it's serious, it's a wonderful film.
Cool.
One of the best of 2005. And then in 2013, he did Fading Gigolo. It's an okay movie where he plays a guy kind of lost and he decides to become a gigolo. So his buddy pimps for him. His buddy is played by Woody Allen. It's funny, it's not a great film, but yeah. But the ones I just listed, maybe a lot of people don't know that they directed movies.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who directed that people don't know. David Schwimmer, Tim Allen, Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I skipped over. Yeah, I saw Ryan Gosling's movie. I jumped right over him. Yeah.
Stanley Tucci. And there's people that we, can't get into time,
Yeah.
But, you have, I think I saw Mel Gibson on there. Stallone.
Gibson, yeah, Stallone.
There's people out there who are making a name for themselves for
There's a couple, though, that I do want to squeeze in, if you have some do as well. But Billy Bob Thornton, who has apparently given up on acting. He's just in shit after shit after shit. But in 1996, of course, wrote and directed Sling Blade. Should have won the actor Oscar for it. That's just me. 2000, he did Cormac McCarthy again, adaptation, All the President's Men. All the Pretty Horses. Great novel. The movie was a flop. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long. He made a 3.5-hour movie. The studio cut it, took the music off, moved scenes around.
Wow.
So I hope someday we'll see his vision. And in 2001, he did a nice little comedy called Daddy and Them. Just a good old boy comedy about relationships. Andy Griffith, Laura Dern, John Prine plays his brother. But in 2012, this will be a lost treasure, so I can talk about it more. Jane Mansfield's Car. Him and Robert Duvall, Ron White, the comedian, bunch of people. John Hurt. Brilliant movie about a Southern family, and I won't say anything more because of time, but brilliant film. Totally underseen, didn't get a release, and I think it was my favorite or second favorite of 2012. Great film. Yeah. And Robert Duvall said he compared him to John Steinbeck in his writing.
Wow.
Yeah. And just very quickly, Robert Duvall.
Duvall, yes.
Angelo, My Love, 1983, good little movie. It's almost documentary-like, only it's not, about a gypsy kid. Wonderful film. The Apostle from 97, robbed of an Oscar by Jack Nicholson, playing Jack Nicholson in As Good as It Gets. Should have won the Oscar. My second favorite film in 97, after Boogie Nights. 2002, Assassination Tango, not that good. He wanted to make a movie where he could tango because he's a world-class tango guy. And it's not a very good movie. But 2015, another lost treasure, Wild Horses. He's an old Texas Ranger, modern times.
Right. And
he has two sons, Josh Hartnett and James Franco. And there's a secret in the past that's coming up. It's a very, very good movie. Yeah. John Wayne did a couple. The Alamo, great film. The Green Berets, embarrassingly bad. The Sunsets in the West, or the East, sorry. Yeah. Did you have anybody you want to throw out there real quick?
I think, in terms of time, as we said at the beginning, most actresses and actresses have got behind the camera, it seems.
Well, let's finish with this guy, because we have to.
Okay.
Actually, there's two. I'll zip through this one.
All right.
Dennis Hopper.
Oh.
Easy Rider, of course, changed everything. His follow-up, The Last Movie, changed everything for him. It's a mess, but, 1980, he did a movie that nobody knows called Out of the Blue. It's a weird movie about a guy who gets out of prison and starts hanging out with his daughter again, but he killed a busload of kids. And it's the most depressing movie. It makes Sophie's Choice look like fucking Ghostbusters. And there's incestuous stuff going on, and it's but it's a goddamn good movie. In 88, he did Colors, big hit, good film. Doesn't age well.
No.
But it's still a goddamn good movie. Penn and Duvall are fantastic. 1990, he did a great noir starring Virginia Madsen and Don Johnson called The Hot Spot. Southern, gothic-y, sexy. Great film. And then in 94, he did his last movie, Chasers. Big bunch of Hollywood bullshit about two Navy chasers escorting a hot chick across the, it's stupid, it's awful. Yeah. But I think we should very quickly squeeze in Mel Gibson.
Okay. I don't know. But go ahead.
Man Without a Face in '93.
It was good.
I didn't like it.
Really, I liked it.
It's like a TV movie.
It was a very
at the end
film.
when he stands up. Oh, graduation. 95. I love Braveheart. I always have. Are you a fan?
Yeah, Braveheart's
yeah, it's a
good.
great film. 2004. Yeah, we don't need to tout Braveheart.
Yeah.
2004, Passion of the Christ. I am a agnostic leaning towards atheist. I think it's a great film. I think. Did you see it?
I don't blame it.
Atheists can see Christian movies. They're movies, and it's not a Christian movie. It's a goddamn good movie.
I'm agnostic too.
Did you like
atheist,
that? Did you like that? Passion of the Christ is a goddamn good movie. Yeah. That should be the tagline. It's a good goddamn movie. No, I liked it. I think directing wise, his choices, the best behind the camera that he's done. And then Apocalypto in 2006. Yeah, it's fine. Big chase movie with the Mayans chasing the Mayans. Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, it was alright.
But he's a goddamn good director, and
he's like Kevin Costner. He's got some really good ones out there.
He has a new one coming out this year. World War II.
Put on there.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, like you said, we had to skip over some because everybody and their mother makes a movie now.
Yeah.
This probably should have been a two-parter, but then part two would have been talking about people I didn't want to talk about. You know what I mean? So
now we cut it down. We bring the conversation to the website. That's all we do.
Yeah, exactly. Again, bring the conversation to the website. And I think that'll change in July as well. I think we'll get a lot of more. So anyway, folks, this was our Actors Who Direct. And I'm sorry, women. We didn't mention the women.
Oh, we
didn't mention Jodie Foster and Diane Keaton.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm sorry.
Jodie Foster definitely should have been on there.
We're at exactly 1 hour.
Yeah,
Throw Jodie
I'm going to bring
Foster.
that on the website.
Yeah.
Because
Jodie Foster, Diane
Keaton
as well, even though. But, yeah. This is our all-male Actors Who Direct.
That should show that there's a problem in Hollywood right there.
Really. But there you are, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. Please comment on it. And the comments are slow. We got a like on one of our shows from 4 months ago.
Wow.
People just, they don't listen to the shows the day we post them. Sometimes they listen months later. Yeah.
But still,
but we liked some comments and
conversation-wise, they can still go.
So if you are listening to this before you comment, yes, all right, we will put Jodie Foster, Diane Keaton, and a few others on the. Sofia Coppola doesn't count. She did bit parts in her dad's movies. She's a director.
She's a director, not an actor.
And you want proof? Watch The Godfather 3. She is not an actor. Anyway, all right. Well, it's a fun show. I think got on a little sidetrack, a good one, a relevant one. Yeah, it was nice. So anyway, keep an eye out for the big things in the future because they're coming. And we'll keep you posted on it. On when our sponsor will officially start, but we got them. We just need to tweak some things. So, all right, post your comments. We will immediately. Jodie Foster, Diane Keaton. All right, I'm Tony.
And I'm Bill. See ya.